Alright, in this video I want to do basically a good discussion about Fred Dreske's article he published in 1971, which is called Conclusive Reasons. It's in this anthology by Bernecker and Dretske himself, Knowledge. This article itself is in lots of other anthologies as well. Okay, I'm going to get to this article. First of all, give you some context. Gettier kind of had his little article published in Analysis, which was kind of going against the formulation of justified true belief being knowledge. So, he kind of used his Jones-Smith examples to show that the granted formulation of justified true belief isn't necessarily knowledge. So then we have, people following him, basically what Gettier did is he crippled all of epistemology, because after Gettier, the whole thing was to figure out what knowledge is. What justification is, what is the structure of justification, to figure out just these epistemic concepts that we have to kind of figure out now, where before that, it was kind of more centered on scientific knowledge and, where to go from here, because, the whole epistemic stuff was pretty kind of figured out until Gettier came along. So, we have people like Goldman in his causal theory of knowing, which I have a video about. A.J. Ayer, I don't know if that's before or after Gettier. I think it was before Gettier. But Ayer has his knowledge as the right to be sure formulation, and we have lots of other formulations for knowledge. Now Dretske is giving a pretty good internalist formulation. So we have here. Hopefully you can see this. So we have the concept of a conclusive reason. Now, a reason so let's say I believe a certain belief B. The internalists. Now, first of all, I want to talk about the internalist-externalist distinction. Dretske himself doesn't really talk about the externalist-internalist thing, but he is internalist in that he talks about that we need reasons to justify our beliefs, and thus we need conclusive reasons for knowledge. So, and the whole thing is if I believe a certain belief B, I have to have a certain reason as to why. And people like Earl Connie, Richard Feldman, and Peter Klein, they kind of believe in this whole reasons thing, that you have to have reasons for what you believe in, reasons as to why you think something is true. You have to have reasons to account for your beliefs of things. Now that's internalist, because to have a need for reasons is to have cognitive access to the justification of your beliefs. An externalist thing would not have to have any of this. An externalist thing would be like we have a historical or causal theory of knowing, like Goldman, or we have a reliabilism or a virtue reliabilism or process reliabilism, where we're talking about the causal nature or the historical nature as to how you came upon a belief, not as to the reasons for why you hold something. Hopefully you can get and understand why this is internal, why this is internalist and not externalist. I do have some pretty extensive. Well, I do have some videos on externalism and internalism, and videos about a good amount of articles in the history of epistemology. So, what is a reason? A reason, first off, is a bit of a meta-belief. the epistemic regress problem is that for every belief that we have to have a meta-belief or a reason as to why we believe that, and this reason in a way justifies the belief, and we have to have another meta-belief or a meta-belief which justifies my meta-belief. So we have kind of an infinite regressive reasons. Now, Peter Klein, the infinitist, was fine with that, and he had an article about that, and I made a video about that. You know, and the foundationalists solve the whole regress problem, and the coherentists solve it a different way. But the infinitists are fine with this whole regress thing. So now you know what a reason is. What is a conclusive reason? This is a formulation for knowledge, in that S, in believing P, S knows P if S cannot be wrong about P. Now, Dretske gives this modal formulation here, which this diamond is a operator in modal logic, which this diamond means possible. If we had this, that this is basically saying it is possible that P, and thus another modal operator is this, which doesn't really matter for this case, but this box means it is necessary that P. Why does this is the whole thing that Dretske gives. We have two tildes, thus two negation symbols. What this basically reads as in modal logic and also sentential logic, or sentential modal logic, is that it is not possible that not P. It is not possible that this is not the case. So hopefully you can kind of see as to why that is the formulation, that is the standard for how to know something. To know something is to have S not be able to be wrong about it. For it to be not possible that P is not the case. Okay, so hopefully you can kind of get that. Now, Dretske gives lots and lots of examples. And I'm only going to give one. I'm going to give the first one that he gives is about the child and the temperature. So R is a reason for P if R wouldn't be the case unless P is the case. So we have 1A, which can be thought of as P. We have 2A, which can be thought of as R. R being the reason, P being the premise. So R is a reason for P if R wouldn't be the case unless P is the case. So Dretske gives this sentential sentence here in sentential logic. This little horseshoe means it's the if-then relation. If R, then P. That's the whole thing here. This is what Dretske gives. So, so we have this first one. S knows that the child's temperature is normal, and knows this on the basis of a normal thermometer reading. So he takes the kid's temperature and he gives a normal reading. So then we have 2A, which is the reason. The thermometer wouldn't read 98.6 degrees unless the child's temperature was normal. So R, if R is a reason for P, R wouldn't be the case unless P is the case. And Dretske kind of asks the question, can we affirm 1A and deny 2A? If we can, then R is not a reason, and we're not closer to any kind of conclusive reason here. A way in which we could deny 2A and affirm 1A is a faulty thermometer causing that. Now, you can see how this is, a kind of a difficult thing, because there's a lot of ways in which we could, if we set up reasons for certain beliefs, then there's of course different ways we could possibly deny this and affirm that. But that's definitely what could happen. You know, the thermometer could be faulty and could not be able to give a reading of higher than that, and thus we would have that problem. So, this is kind of like a short video on this, but there is a lot more going on here. There's a lot more examples that Dretske gives that I don't really want to talk about, but the whole thing is that you have to give a account as to why you believe it. You have to kind of you have to have reason as to why you believe something. Thus, you have to have a certain account for the reasons of your beliefs. So, I think if there's anything else I need to talk about, yeah. When one has conclusive reasons, then this is sufficient for knowing that P is the case. Probably specific and really displayed particular features. Suffice to say that the possession of conclusive reasons, the believing, is a necessary condition for knowledge, and properly qualified along the lines suggested here. So that's kind of another formulation following Gettier of how we get knowledge, as to how we get there. Getting conclusive reasons is a way to get there. To kind of have reasons for your beliefs, and thus have this little formulation, is the way in which that you get there. So, I could talk a little. I could talk a good bit more on this. I could give more of Dretske's examples. However, I don't find that necessary. If you need more elaboration on this, then I can do that. Just let me know. If you have a question, or if you think I've messed something up, or left something out, comment below. I'd love to hear from you and discuss with you. Also, if you have a question on epistemology at all, also comment below. And because whenever you comment, I get an email, and if your comment is constructive and useful, then I will always reply. So thank you.